got to Lamiera. You did some shopping things. You did some personal relaxation things, and you did end up selling those arms that you had to very or
Some very shady fuckers.
shouldn't say poorly researched. Unable to be researched buyers who were willing to pay almost 1 million credits for them. He took the money and he gave somebody arms, energy arms. And then coming back, you finished up a week-long recruiting process, which you're going to completely finalize first thing here. And you got an invitation from Cassian to visit him at his estate or neutral ground, specifically neutral grounds, a coffee place.
Yeah, as I recall, we were debating which offer to take.
I believe your tentative decision was to meet him at his estate.
Yeah.
But of course, that is still up for discussion if you want. Any highlights from last session?
It's got to be the contract that Elise wrote up for Riley.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
Gotta be. That Riley then edited and.
Oh
Yeah.
contract, yes.
You signed this NDA.
I did have the NDA.
Yeah, how many NDAs have you been offered anyway?
At least 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up, Nox, did you see the contract? Nox?
Yes.
Was that a yes, you saw the contract, or yes, I'm Nox?
Yes, I am Nox. Hello.
Okay. Okay. Did you see
No, I didn't.
the-
No, I didn't see the contract. I haven't done any of the reading. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've just linked it for you.
It's just a tiny thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
like,
other thing I meant to.
It looks normal. Go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying it looks normal at first glance, but then you actually read it and go, wait.
So that is the other
And
thing
then
that
you
I
can-
was going to bring up between sessions and totally forgot to is Ellie, your audio sounds a lot clearer this time than last.
Does it?
Oh
I'm using the
yes.
same laptop.
I think it was coming through your laptop's like built-in microphone last time.
I'm laying in bed with my laptop. There is nothing plugged in right now.
Oh.
It's literally the exact same thing. I don't know why.
Well then, from now on, you must play this game laying in bed with your laptop.
I can live with that.
No, how terrible.
Yes. No, wait, no. That means I can't get snacks. How dare you?
Yeah, it was a little bit muffled, you know, like somebody's laptop, microphone, and speaker and all that. So if you're still using that, then whatever layout or setup you're currently using makes your audio very clear.
Okay. The difference is last time I was in the kitchen and now I am in my bed.
Ah, weird. Okay.
Yeah. It might be some weird like echo reduction thing that was happening. There's maybe a lot more soft stuff around that's
Yeah,
damping down the echoes, and it's not kicking in as much.
kind of what I was
Entirely
thinking.
possible.
The sound isn't bouncing off all the pots and pans, and the hard walls, and cabinets and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to bring us into frame, and we can see that the sessions without near party wipe and the sessions without trail have been updated, ish.
Ish.
I'll move us over
Okay.
to the ship screen first off.
The new numbers are there, are they not?
They what? Huh?
The new numbers are there, are they not?
They
Yeah.
are, but the old numbers are still there, so it's updated ish.
Shh, they have lines through them, it's okay.
All right, so I'm going to put all of let me put the music on. Go with strategy music. I'm gonna put all of the new hire named new hire NPCs in the NPC box. You can, of course, ask. I'm not including Dima. Questions of any of them, not just those that I've raised as red flags.
Okay, so I propose we start off by asking the other 5 that haven't been named yet. What's your name?
You may not ask questions or interrogate any of the unnamed ones, because then they become named, and you become responsible for crafting a history and making
Okay,
them
yeah,
fit.
that's fair.
And getting a
That's
picture of
fair.
them.
Yeah, it was just an easy joke.
I know.
Hermione.
I just wanted to punish you for it.
Understandable. You know, we should name some part of the ship something that acronymizes to NPC so that we can say that they're there.
Oh no, you've put the thought out and now it's going to get fulfilled. Damn it, Viral. You are that good play, touche. You got back at me for punishing you.
That actually wasn't on my mind at all. I had that thought before I said anything about asking the other NPCs on names.
Alright, so yeah, clarified on the auto passes. They simply are for when you want to use them. You don't have to declare them all in advance. You just have to declare it before rolling something, before rolling for that inspection. If that makes more sense, Jackal.
What was that?
The clarification on the auto passes?
Oh yeah, I only have to use them if I fail. That does make sense. Yeah.
Only have to use them before you fail.
Before I fail.
Yes. Yeah. It's you don't have to.
It's effectively when you would make a check, you can just decide that check succeeds, but it still counts. It still counts towards making a check. So we probably want to do them later when they get harder.
Right.
I see.
Basically, it's like Percy's auto hit ability, except you can't do it after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, close enough.
Do we have any opening questions?
Yeah, is there a ship-wide is there a personnel communication system or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a comm line on the ship. It extends up to, I think, it's a couple of 100 feet away from it as well.
Cool. Can I use that to request the medical files of every NPC that isn't yet in the system? I'll just do that in the background, but we're requesting it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if I spot anything weird, I can look at it then, I guess.
And I'll say that for the interrogations, any PC that you think would have relevant information can contribute, can roll the skill check. These inspections aren't like you interviewed them and then you later go out and investigate. These inspections are of the data and the information that Elise has already gotten on the candidates. And it's like during their interview, they say something that raises a yellow flag, or they appear differently than what you expected. It raises a yellow flag. And you can kind of either Elise can think back on what she's gathered, somebody on the ship can look into some of the data that she's already gathered. It can be something that you already know, like if Elise looks back or thinks back on what she's gathered, then it's something that she already knows and can confront right then and there. If it's something like Riley looking into the medical records that were submitted by the NPC as part of the onboarding or the whole recruitment process, then the interview can take a quick break for Riley to investigate those files. Sorry, I got distracted with formatting something there. It doesn't have to be a call them back and then question them. You can bring it up right there in that interview.
Let's see.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate that out of the 7 named NPCs we hired, 6 of them have yellow flags. Although I
Hey.
suppose, like, we're terrorists, we don't have much choice.
I'm sorry, we're terrorists?
Oh shit, NDA.
I mean, don't worry about it. Contractual obligation to not share anything, that goes both ways. Speaking of which, I have some experiments.
Yeah. In fairness, all the terrorism was before we had amnesia, does that help?
I
don't
am
think that helps.
genuinely conflicted on what to answer there.
All right. So,
well,
yeah, go ahead.
I know the first question that I want to ask personally. If anyone disagrees with this first question, feel free. But I want to know who the hell Maximus Steele is looking for,
Okay.
or is wary of. Like, which applicant is he interested in?
See, I'm not sure that should be the first question, because if that's one that you really want the answer to, that should be one of your auto passes. And if it's one of your auto passes, we should save it for later when they get harder.
Yes.
Yes, once
Yeah.
you've rolled
two-
and
we've got
failed the
two-
check, you cannot ask about that. Questions about that again.
Like, would you rather auto pass an 8 or auto pass a 12?
What's the skill?
I would say if we come up with two that we definitely want to know the answers to, and save those for the auto passes, then anything else we can prioritize and work out.
Jackal, to your question,
Well-
the difficulty starts at 8 and increases by 1 for each question.
Yeah, but what skill am I rolling?
It's going to be whatever skill you guys think is most relevant.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's just right there, at least simply talking it out from them, then you can roll talk charisma. If it's something about that a medical checkup or looking over medical files would show, then heal on Riley. This is basically a skill challenge, and you can kind of think of it as parallel to such, just with no absolute failure condition for 2 or 3 fails. It's just each fail means that question is locked off. But as far as what skills apply, you can think of it like a skill challenge.
Oh, so it's like one of the QEDs, basically.
Yeah, kind of.
Except this time we get 2 auto freebies. Man, that would have been nice.
I'm sure it would have been. Alright, so with that in mind, what do you want your first question to be? I'll also say, just real quick, we don't have to do this. You can just accept them all without asking any questions. I'm fine with that.
No.
Not if you get into a list of yellow flags.
Yeah, I feel like you've given us this big list of things we should know about.
No.
Come on, you know we can't resist a plot hook. And okay, so it isn't quite a plot hook, but it's potentially seeds. Anyways, I think that if we're figuring out who we should ask questions to, I think it's probably like we can probably put Asta at least at about a mid-ish priority, because like I said earlier, if she's got a problem with aliens, we'll figure that out real quickly when she meets Acid, and then we can act appropriately from there.
Yeah, I think effectively we're going to get the answer to that pretty quick anyway. You're right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, why don't we start with one that is probably pretty low-hanging fruit, like Aurelia. Why do you want to leave so soon?
Yeah, I think that's worth a question, but not an auto pass.
Okay.
I'm also going to
then-
tentatively say
What are we?
And then
What
another
are we
one would
thinking
be
of
for-
saving for the auto passes?
Well, the Maximus Steel question
Mhm.
is one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd say
And-
Alina or Flavica with that, because Quishin, I'm willing to believe that that could have been just fast bureaucracy, and if they were looking to stay inconspicuous, they wouldn't have told us something that seems weird and brings attention, like, oh, hey, am I a Lati refugee?
Yeah.
So
Again,
I'm a little bit more
that one's
inclined
probably
to.
worth a question, but not an auto task.
Yeah, so it's worth a question, but I'm a little more inclined to believe them based on the fact that they volunteered that.
Okay.
Mm.
So, what I have is Aurelia. Why do you want to leave so badly? As your difficulty 8 check. And for that, you've got a couple options. Since you don't really know the context, I'm gonna just kind of give you some options, and you can choose them. You're welcome to or suggest something else, but you're welcome to suggest something else. The options for that are talk charisma, kind of just working it out of her through the interview. You can also use an int admin. I would let somebody have found something outside the interview through the paperwork and stuff with a connect wisdom. Or int.
I would like to go with a talk charisma check.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it. That beats an 8, and
Nice.
I suppose I should have this document open, shouldn't I?
Might be helpful.
It could be helpful. And Elise meets her match, but like a lesser version of her match. Aurelia is actually fairly good at being shady and sorry, that's a bad parallel to draw too. Elise. Aurelia
right now.
Aurelia is good at performing. You know, the interview performance. The interview is a performance. She's acting in ways that for any other interviewer might simply inspire them to believe what she's saying, to be confident in what she's presenting, and maybe even a little bit of sympathy. But Elise is able to work around that. It's a bit of a front, and Aurelia is actually quite scared of not being taken on the ship. A little bit more massaging there, and it turns out that she is wanted on Lamiera.
Is it going to be a different question if I ask why?
I'll give you a basic context of it, but to get more information, yes. The basic category of whatever crimes she may be wanted for are of a civil nature, not a criminal or violent nature.
Oh my gosh, she committed tax fraud.
Crimes, plural. Okay, gal.
Yeah.
And let's be real, most of us are wanted as well, and if we do her this favour by getting her off the planet, then not only will she be loyal, she'll be scared of fucking up in case we take her back.
And you have learned about her that she is fairly good at being the conniving, and manipulative sounds bad also, but
It does, yeah.
influencing things.
Mm.
She is a social character.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Like, both having it on the ship and the amount of information that we've learned. Anyone disagree?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm fine.
Don't see a
Cool.
problem with that.
Okay.
Okay, so who are we grilling next?
Let's see here. Do you want to ask more about Flavica and the resume line, or is that okay with you?
I am curious to know more about that. I think it's safer to leave question for a little bit later because like we're not too concerned if we don't get the info about them right now, so we can save it when difficulty is a little bit harder, so it's less of a big deal if we fail. But yeah, I think we should choose whether we're using an auto pass on Alina or Flavica, and then ask the other one now, because they're the ones that we want to know about. I'm happy with either. Okay, I'm hearing quite a bit of silence there. Frey, any thoughts?
Sorry, I'm just contemplating.
That's fair. I'm just trying to bypass the bystander effect by picking out one person at random.
I'm also going to fill the silence there and add in for Jacko's benefit that in talking around Aurelia like that, at least gets the impression that Aurelia doesn't realize she's been seen through. So you still have that under your belt, unless you want, unless at least wants to, flat out, let her know what she knows.
So I know you committed tax fraud. No, I think it's best to just keep our cards close and, well, for lack of better terms, use it to our advantage later.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was getting at. Yes. All right. So the difficulty of your next question is 9.
So we are cool with maybe the next question being for Flavica, just to figure out why she lied, per se.
Yeah, sure. And then you use the auto passes on Alina and Maximus. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I don't really have
Sure.
any questions for Chief, right?
Hi.
And I think Asta is a self-solving problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love
But,
that.
we can always ask about Asta, and if it fails, I would be heartbroken about it.
Acid's tough enough to bite back if Asta starts causing trouble anyway.
Yeah. So
And if it turns out that she's too interested in the aliens in the other way, Libra's tough enough to bite back.
Indeed.
Did you notice the Libra's upgraded components roll there? She now does damage on a miss with both plasma cannon and fist.
Ooh.
That's in addition to shock damage, of course, if, whatever she's punching is not immune.
Survives.
Yeah, survives. Alright, so I heard asking Flavica about her experience discrepancy.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
Should I roll again, or
Yeah.
are we gonna pass this to another person?
So this could be some kind of an administrative something that was brought up in administrative efforts again. So an int admin. This could also be another connect roll. It can, of course, be a talk roll. You can continue just kind of working the interview. And that one. Yep, so I guess it's those 3 again. –
So I guess we're rolling the same thing.
Well, if it's those three again, I guess I'll just go for talk charisma again.
Okay.
Knock him out.
Oof. Got it.
Ooh, like
So Flavica, who prefers to go by Vicky, starts to panic a little when she is questioned about her history, and she breaks pretty quickly and apologizes for lying on her resume. Said that she just really wants to join this crew. She knows that you're the Raza. She's flooding at you now. She knows that you're the Raza, and she and her friend just really want to join the crew. And
Friend?
she was afraid that she wouldn't get on because she doesn't have a lot of work experience on a ship, and that he coached her.
Who's the friend?
Her friend is Maximus.
Okay.
that's maybe why he was curious. Right.
Other applicants. Oh, I saw in the thing actually.
Right. So the groupies basically.
I looked at people's bios and I saw, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, did I?
So you both?
Oh, God.
You put affection for Aurelia in Maximus's bio.
Oh, that was actually supposed to have been deleted.
I saw it and I thought, okay, connections.
Also, that was before
then completely
changed
forgot
names.
about it when looking at this. So.
Yeah, no. I also changed the name. It should be affection for Flavica.
And it also shouldn't be there at all.
Oh, true. Yes.
Yeah.
But also shouldn't be there at all.
Why do they really want to join? Like, what is your reasoning?
That's going to be another question.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it again.
Well, hang on.
You know, if it does work for Vicky, you could auto pass the same question on Maximus.
Just like up. Look, I know you were coming.
Like, Vicky, why did you and Maximus want to join? Fail. Maximus, why did you and Vicky want to join?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rule out the talk on the second question here. She's immune to that now. But there is still, in the actual interview, she's trying to compose herself and not ruin anything else for herself. But with what she said there, it does give you more to cross-reference and check. So you still got the connect, you still got the admin. I think I can also expand that out to program and work. Let me actually look at the skill list here. And notice.
And notice?
I'd allow int, yeah. I'm gonna stop saying the attribute on them because more or less pretty much any readable one will work. Yeah, an int notice would work also.
I will go for wisdom notice.
Okay.
That is okay.
Yeah, there's remember, it doesn't have to be just at least rolling. It can be
+3 though.
Okay, that's fine. That is fine.
Oh well.
Do you want to use your?
I already rolled.
No, but don't you have a psychic reroll ability, or is that only for allies?
Oh, I do.
Ooh, good point. Good point.
Yep.
There we go.
That'll do it.
That's better.
So.
And I can't do it anymore today.
Fine, you still have 2 auto passes.
So what you turn up is that you connect some things that you maybe had gathered, but that didn't really connect at the moment. But it turns out that Vicky has her actual background is social activist for VI rights. She has been a part of ALDR, which is... Oh no, didn't I do it in here? I'll get it to you in a second, but it's basically VI rights. And she... Let's see. She has aptitude. Her actual aptitude is in traditional art and augmented digital environment. So just kind of another art form. But her work with ALDR was actually to create sickening visual and other sensory representations of the tortures, simulated tortures that VI, who were thought to be sapient and conscious, are put to.
VI is virtual intelligence, I think.
Yeah, VI is virtual intelligence. It's this setting's way of saying AI without all of the implications that come with AI.
Okay. Oh, so she worked in torturing VIs, basically.
She didn't actually work in the torturing VIs. She worked in creating sickening simulations of what they go through in an effort to raise awareness and,
Right. Interesting.
So what you're saying is she's a torturer specialist.
She is a torturous art specialist.
We'll just note that down as a torture specialist, won't we? We can leave the art out. It's more threatening that way.
Oh, I just had a thought.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has any experience working with QEDs.
I will be clear, she will not be a very good torturer. Elise can say that right now. She herself broke too easily.
We just need her to make the torture material, don't we?
That's basically what she's doing already.
Alright, so here we go. This is an event that happened last year in House LaRue. And Vicky was part of it. This Alice Candor, as a representative of ALDR, Android Life Discovery and Emergency Rescue is what ALDR is. Second. Managed to get the sale of Electro drones, which are pre-tech VI drones, blocked in House LaRue. You cannot buy Electro drones here. It was one of the only places you could until Alice Candor.
So we're going to need to swing back here in like 9 months so that she can attend the hearing thing.
Oh no, that's already happened. That was 3250.
Ah, right, okay. Right.
Vicky's ship experience is limited to how she was coached to answer questions. But she promises she will learn really fast.
In fairness, those are basically the terms we took Quan on by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with this.
I can live with that.
Does she know what Maximus's background, what his experience is with a ship, or?
She might, but that would be another question.
I feel like we should ask Maximus that one.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you have found an alternate avenue. If your question to Maximus fails, you could ask Vicky. It would be, I would count that as a different question, even if the one fails.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't need to use an auto pass anymore to find out if Maximus why he's so interested in other people. Or unless, what if he is genuinely interested in something else, and Dexter just gave us that as a red herring?
That's a great idea.
Well, now we have a bargaining chip, because if he actually is looking for someone else, then we'll just threaten to shoot Vicky.
I'm sure that'll be good for everyone else's morale.
Of course.
What do you mean? Nobody else is to find out. No witnesses.
I did sign a very thorough NDA.
If you break that NDA, it results in termination, and that's not of your employment.
I just like to know if you get Riley on board to do the autopsy and you just have her go, no, it was not something that happened on the ship, she'd probably go with it.
That's a point, actually, huh?
Like,
It's like
she's the most experienced medical person. What are they gonna do? Say she's wrong?
The Vaza has inspected the actions of the Vaza and determined no wrongdoing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God, we sound like politicians. Let's not go there.
So, who was next?
Don't think you had settled.
Let's see here.
You're at an 11 now.
Well, we were going to use auto passes on Maximus and I think Elena, but I'm not sure if we still need to use one on Maximus, or like maybe not for that question anyway. If everyone else is willing to trust that Dex doesn't secretly have Maximus looking for someone other than Vicky and is just messing with us, which is possible, but yeah, if we're willing to just assume that he was looking for Vicky, then we can use that auto pass on something else, whether it's to Maximus or someone else.
Well, I guess the real question now is, do we want to start using the auto passes, or do we want to? Because the next difficulty's in 11.
11.
And do we want to just use the last two questions, just auto pass both of them and move on?
I guess it couldn't hurt to try one more actual question just on the off chance, you know? But I would say that not one of the two that we're hoping to use auto passes on, because we don't want to cut those off.
Let's maybe do Asta. Like, what is your investment in with the trend?
And just aliens, it could be pro for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it couldn't hurt, just in case, you know, she's going to pull a gun out when she sees acid for the first time. But yeah, I'm willing to go with that one. If it doesn't work, then we'll find out anyway.
Yeah. We will.
So Asta then?
Yeah, I think we're asking Asta what the deal is with our investment with aliens.
Okay. Asta is not a viable, or this question is not viable for talk. Looking into her background, or what background information you've already pulled up is with an admin. This could definitely be a program to represent additional non-admin type searches. Connect for any connections that may have been polled, POLLED, during investigations, if any. But Asta is just very poised and giving the proper interview answers, so cannot be talked around this one. I mean, aside from the fact that she asked a lot of questions about alien contact.
Yeah.
But she doesn't give away anything else during the talkie portion.
Did she say where she was born? Where was she born?
She did. She was born on Pana. Or in Astos, sorry. In Pana, on Astos.
Cool, thank you.
Asta from Astos. Nice.
Yes. So admin program connect.
Come on.
Which do you want to roll and who's rolling it?
I could throw a program in. I mean, in terms of searches and stuff, someone would have to have asked us to do it, but
I could
sure we
do
can,
admin or connect.
Yeah.
This does need to be a high roll, and we all know how OP this is at programming roles. So, do you think Elise would have asked her if she
Probably.
had some programming done?
Probably. Just like a text message. Can you do this thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take her. Dredge this person's history for me.
Finding things on Lamia it is difficult, even when it's not things that the government is hiding. Then it's impossible. Just because of all the internet controls, and that's why it's even a program check to find this. So go ahead and roll it.
Right. Okay. Hacking or not?
Not hacking.
Not hacking.
Still flies
There we
through.
go.
There's just too much for the difficulty of the interwebs here to hide. Asta is a freaking xenophile. It shows in purchase history, in watch history. What Das can find is Asta loves aliens.
Nothing worrisome then, unless it is a kink.
Bear in mind that the only alien we have on this ship is in a relationship with an android who can punch through holes through solid steel. We should warn them.
Yeah. Yeah, that might some.
We literally
Yeah.
saw her put her fist straight through a thug's chest once and leave a cauterized hole in the way.
Libra can actually punch a grav tank into well, not slag exactly, but into inoperability.
I mean, she
There
could
you
probably
go.
punch it in the slag if she took enough time.
She probably could. Yeah, not to the
Yeah,
kink
leave.
level.
The
There's no
thing-
alien
the thing is-
porn.
Yeah, the thing is, if you can punch the tank into inoperability, that gives you the time to punch it as far as you like.
Yes.
I think we just do a gentle reminder of the HR implications, and other than that, it's mess around, find out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
If you don't get killed, you'll end up in the med bay, so I do kind of care. Don't give me more work.
Right, so just like the tank, make sure Libra finishes his job. Got it.
All right. And you've got the additional information that by her questions, Asta does not know that there, not already would know that there is a Trin on the ship.
Interesting.
I mean, acid didn't really
Nobody-
go anywhere, right? So.
Nobody tell her I want to see the reaction.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely yeah.
All right, you're at a 12.
Yeah, I think unless we can finagle any of them into programming checks, I think it's probably time to start using the hall passes.
Maybe.
So we're at Elena now, right?
Yeah, Elena, yeah.
You want to ask Elena?
Yeah, because I don't know why she would be trying to join a starship crew when she seems reluctant to be joining a starship crew, and that could come back to bite us.
Okay. And are you using your auto pass for that?
I think we just use the auto pass. We're at a stage where failing is very realistic.
Okay.
Mhm.
Elena, you can work it out of her a little bit grudgingly. There's some bitterness that you have to work past. She has, through some through accusation of violent outbursts, which she denies ever actually resulted in anybody getting hit, been terminated from her union contract, and her parents have lost their benefits at home.
Excellent. As a graduation union, we can use this.
She also misses some friends, but had to get away from them, and she is kind of mopey and reluctant to leave on both those accounts. In working this out of her, she does ask for a 25% bump in pay. Not as a direct result, but in following in this conversation, she does ask if she could be given a bump in pay, and says that she is very experienced on a ship. She served on a Union fire ship for several years.
You see, this is where we set up that HR thing where it's like, well,
Yeah.
here's we're gonna start you off at the pay that we've already said, but in 3 months we'll do a review based off of your performance, and then you can have the pay that you asked for if we determine that, if we get these metrics met,
See, the problem with this, she just doesn't sound like she really wants to be here, and she's asking for more money for her who doesn't want to be here to be here. I mean, we were getting by with just us. Sure, we were struggling a bit, but we were holding up,
I'm just saying, if we're gonna do it, that's how we're gonna do it. Not that we have to.
I'm not sure I'm feeling this one, to be honest. But what does everyone else think?
I mean, I also asked for more money, so.
Yeah, but you're not an NPC.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd stand by my, if we're gonna hire them, we'll do that trajectory. But I don't have any strong reservations other than, like, I mean, a lot of people work in places they don't necessarily want to work. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're recruiting these people for their entire lives or anything like that.
Sure, but at the same time. So go on.
I hope.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Andrew, something about how everyone's getting off on the same pay, and she's immediately asking for more during the interview process. After saying she doesn't particularly want to be here, it rubs me the wrong way.
Now, quick clarification: she's mopey about the benefits that were lost to her parents, and she's the reluctance is more about having left some friends, having left basically a family support group. It isn't specifically reluctance to join you or to join a ship. It's more the combination of I done fucked up and I'm leaving my support group. And she does pair the request for additional pay with a greater detail on how much experience she has on a ship.
The experience isn't necessarily the trump card that she thinks it is, when we have proven that we are willing to hire people who have fuck all experience.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it in context.
Here, like, hobo, you guys would have hired me.
Well, there are certain trusts and concessions that are made to PCs. I try to avoid them because they often feel like that gamers meme of, I think it's from the gamers, of you look trustworthy, join us. It might have been the gamers too with the wizard.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
I do try to avoid that, but there's a lot of trust given to other players and a lot of concessions made.
Yeah, and I did note last session how you were saying that one of the things we were looking for in particular was a doctor, when I don't think that ever actually came up before.
I'm sure it came up out of character.
No, it did. It did.
Oh, okay.
It did, yeah. And I also tried to couch it as, I think I said acid was suggested it?
Yeah, like I say, you're good about this kind of thing, Dex.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So, what is the verdict on Elena? She's not going to get the extra pay. I've understood that, at least immediately. She may earn it later. But is she going to be hired?
I don't think she'd probably be happy. She'd probably be happy if she stayed with her support structure, but with the further explanation, I'm okay with taking her on.
I'm fine with taking them on. Don't know why that was so hard for me to fucking say.
All right.
Well, it's 6 words. That's quite a lot.
Viral.
The backup plan for me is always we can always just wipe their memory and then kick them out on the next planet. It's fine.
If you suffer
We can also just modify the memory. Or
That's something.
build in
Modification
something
does
that gives them dopamine for following orders and you know, no, I'm gonna start this train of thought.
Yeah, calm down, Bonesaw.
Where is this train of thought going?
Well, it's not quite mind control, but it is definitely, you know, a form of indoctrination.
All right,
Let's stick to using conventional motives like money for right now before we go to brainwashing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's necessary. It's just fun to think about.
The brainwashing is easy.
You're at a 13.
Yeah, so I think the question now is, do we still want to ask Maximus the sort of question we were wanting before, or do we ask him something different? Or do we want to use it on someone else?
I think if we were going to stick to Maximus, it would be nice to maybe grill him about his motivations for joining.
That's fair.
Because they're not necessarily the same as Vicky's.
Very true.
All right. And you're auto passing this, right?
Yeah.
So, Maximus is here because of Vicky. They are good friends. He makes it clear that there's it's platonic. And he actually does condition his employment on the ship along with hers when this gets raised in interview. He, of course, he is quite qualified. He's got a mechanical engineer education, and as you know, Jacqueline worked as an inspector certifying robotics automation installations. He didn't actually, work on the robotics himself. He was basically an auditor or person that issues the restaurant grade for automations installations. But he's done quite a lot of that work on ships also, and has had to learn the actual operations of a ship in order to properly inspect what operations can be automated and safely. So while he's never really crewed a ship, he has the academic knowledge and can fairly quickly apply that. And giving you a little bit more, because this is probably the end. He just adores Vicky and her drive for AI activism. He actually met her at that event that I posted there at Alder, when he was horrified by the depictions of torture that questionable VI go through, and it raised the question of him of, if they're not just robots, then those expressions of fear and pain that they seem to be simulating, or that others would say are simulated, are they actually real? And he quit what he was doing to kind of volunteer, or slightly paid volunteer, with this organization alongside Vicky.
Having these two around is going to be fantastic for Libra's self-esteem.
We'll just assign Libra as their manager. That'll be good.
And ironically, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
and
okay with that.
I'll give you one more thing. It was, let's see, it was actually Vicky that put together who you guys are. He knows that you're the Raza, because she knew. The cruiser class ship landing, an interview for work aboard a cruiser class ship, and apparently Libra had seen, or not Libra, Vicky had seen Libra entering the city with Acid and Kawana.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's also the reason that she even applied.
Yeah, that's fair.
He pushed her to it.
Interesting.
And coached
It's nice that we have some people. It's nice that we have some people who already have a good team dynamic going on.
Hmm.
Okay, I have one more question that I don't think we need to roll for. Can we give Axel some sort of like, maybe not a welcome card, that's a bit small, but something nice for being the only named person that hasn't raised yellow flags yet?
Hey, speaking of which,
I got it.
Where's my cake?
Already, it's fine.
We'll get to that.
Already
We'll get to
got
that.
the welcome gifts,
They did. They got very nice welcome baskets.
including an MRE.
Including an MRE. Enjoy this. It's what you'll be eating.
No. It's in case you don't like whatever someone made for dinner that night.
Isn't that the same thing as I said?
Maybe. Slightly different connotation that it won't be the only thing that they'll be eating.
We should.
Depends how
Yeah.
much you trust the people that are cooking.
I was gonna say we missed a trick by not hiring a cook.
Yes. Yeah.
Next time.
Ironically enough, one of the people that Elena is leaving in her support group is a very good chef. Unfortunately, he is not available to recruit at this time.
I was gonna say, is that person perhaps interested in a job? But shame.
So I just decided, instead of rolling, I was just going to decided that 50% of the crew you hired were going to be named, and then 50% of those would be known named. And then once I knew that there were some known named being like the people that the NPCs that have already established. That spreadsheet you see up there was only created to make it easy for me to number them. And then it became the crew spreadsheet.
Nice.
But it was literally only created so that I could say this is a guard, this is a technician, this is a crew. Give them all, number them by their NPC class, and then I'll roll a die of that number. And that's how you got Elena, and Asta, and Chishin, and Axel.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with everyone.
Yeah.
The thing with Quishan will come up later in conversation, no doubt.
Might do. All right. Well, you've onboarded crew. You've got a day to get them sorted and settled before you meet with Cassian. I believe you're still. You've kind of decided that you're going to meet him at his estate, but like I said, that's still open for discussion if you want. Before any of that discussion, there is a cake? Yeah, it's a cake. There's definitely a cake. That's what cakes look like. So,
Citation needed.
so before the new crew actually arrive, just probably hours before, Kawana, does Das want to have been helping her with this?
With. Sorry, what?
With making a space cake for Riley.
Ooh.
Was promised.
Was promised.
Mhm. That would depend on how Das would get there. If it's a case of Das having to come in and offer to help, then no.
I think Kawana, having enjoyed the experience with Das before and just kind of liking being around Das, would have, let's say that she knocked on Das's door, or found Das in some way, and said, "Hey, come on, let's go shopping."
Okay.
Easy and simple.
Yep.
Just like that.
While out and about with Kawana, she does talk on a little bit more. She had to learn suddenly, or be reminded suddenly, about credits and money and the transfer of credits for goods. When she bought a few things for the crew that she immediately says, "I can't tell you what they are because it's going to be a surprise." But she's leading somewhere with this. She wonders how much it's going to cost for a cake, and why food, she is still calling it food, even costs people money in the first place.
You know, that's a very good question.
Because capitalism won, unfortunately.
Does that try to explain why food costs money?
I think she would try, but she probably doesn't get very far with the actual explanation before ending up with it just does.
Kawana's intelligent enough. She can, she can certainly understand it if Das is able to explain it. She's not going to agree with it though.
Yeah, of course.
She thinks that if people didn't need to eat, maybe okay, that's a thing, but she believes, like on Mona, that everyone is responsible for everyone, and especially the older people are responsible for making sure that all the younger people get cared for, educated, and excitement and stimulation brought into their life. She eventually, you eventually get to shops, and she must have found something somewhere, because she is buying things that will create a very light, airy, and fluffy something. It'll be a little bit like eating. I guess crawlers are not a bad parallel. French crawlers, the donut, but fluffier. And of course, more frosting.
More frost is always good.
It becomes clear that Koana pretty much only looks at one thing as a metric for something being food, and that is if it has calories. So more frosting means more food.
I mean, Koana, though, sorry, what's Koana's pronoun?
She, her.
Koana's, she's not wrong.
Everything has calories.
Hey.
A paperclip has calories. Don't eat the paperclips. We need those.
We do need paper clips. They clip our papers.
I dare say we could probably buy a few extra paper clips if someone develops Pika all of a sudden.
So Koana is going to need some help to properly cook this. It's complex, and she's not a cook.
Yeah, it didn't go so well last time, did it?
How do you think Das is at either cooking or following cooking instructions?
Well, given the attempts to make cake before, I think either she's learned something from that, or she's learned to follow the instructions a bit better.
Instructions, it's what they're there for.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this with a simple work check. You can use intelligence for it. The difficulty is only 6.
Okay. So I'm gonna need to roll a 4. Because work is at 0, int plus 2. So I really don't need to roll very high. I just need not double ones.
And the only reason
Now
it's
you've
even a
jinxed
roll
that.
is because this recipe is fairly complex.
Yeah.
Of course, now you've jinxed it.
No, I haven't.
Worked perfectly.
I really haven't. 13.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
So certain
Like,
interactions.
all I need to roll is 4, and I rolled 11.
Nice. So certain interactions between some of the chemicals, I'll say for human consumption, of course,
Of course.
has actually given this a little bit of lift. It won't float up towards the ceiling. It far outweighs its own lift, but it is that lift makes it feel a lot lighter than it actually is.
Interesting.
It also has a very, very slight narcotic effect. But that's okay. That's just more calories, right?
Sure.
Basically, because it gets you spaced out.
It has a very, very slight chromatic aberration effect. If you've seen that in video games where the colors become slightly separated from each other, that effect might have no impact on Jackal. I just thought about that. I usually turn it off personally. It makes things a little less distinct. But the cooking is done, and the bridge crew are invited to the galley to celebrate their last cake. Just the 6 of them.
Their last cake, that's ominous.
Well, the last cake with just original crew, plus Koana and Dima.
Yeah.
She has to make a couple of pluses. And so, Riley probably hasn't had too much time to interact with Koana in the couple of days since getting on board and getting familiar with machines, the med bay, and scrounging around for files that aren't there. But what she sees is a youngish female, believe 19, 20, I think she was, and
18.
she is very kind of restrained, excitedly presenting a space cake.
Mhm.
From space.
Is it? It's like a non-addictive space cake, right?
For space, in space, on space.
Yeah. How many spaces are in this?
Should this thing really be floating?
That question just makes Kawana smile even more.
How do you cut this?
Right.
Oh.
Well, in that case, I'm eager to try it. Thank you very much.
It won't float up into the ceiling or anything. I've tested that.
How?
She steps aside from where she was standing and apparently covering up a a smear of frosting where a piece of cake might have been thrown up and didn't float. She tried to clean it up, but the frosting is very sticky. She didn't have, anything wet to wipe it with at the time, and she had already called people in. So she just stood on it and covered it up. And now she's leaving little cake footprints.
Yay.
I really want to be mad about this, but I can't.
Good enough for me. Percy takes a bite of the space cake.
Yeah.
You didn't even cut it yet. What are you doing?
oh no! I cut a bit while you were wondering why it flies.
It is very sweet. While they did follow the instructions, Kawana had deliberately gotten the instructions that call for more frosting, and give you the right proportions and ratios for it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like going to Starbucks and ordering a caramel latte and then telling them, but dump 4 more things of caramel in there.
Nice.
Delicious. Thank you very much.
Seems to have worked at least.
Welcome to the crew.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And yeah, there is that very slight, I said narcotic effect, but I meant slight hallucinogenic effect. That very, very slight separation of the colors. Like if you're looking at your monitor, it'd be 1, maybe 2 pixels spread out. Just enough to be noticeable as, oh yeah, you have taken drugs.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, Percy did not in fact put together the 2 and 2 from space cake and drugs, but
All right. So, Cassian. Are you guys going to meet him at neutral grounds or at his estate?
I think we decided
I believe
before.
we're gonna go to the estate.
Yeah, because he could kill us in neutral ground just as easily as he could at the estate, and going to the estate shows a measure of goodwill.
Mm.
And also, if there's anything else that he wants to happen, if things go along well, for example, introducing us to Zoe again, then that's easier facilitated at his estate.
Okay.
And if things go poorly and it turns out a gunfight, the loot's probably better there.
Can't wait to shoot up this person's mansion.
Right? Not just shut up, rob it as well.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
I wonder where he keeps all his valuables. Like my safe. It'll just perceive the future in which I tried all the combinations to get the combination.
Yeah. Yeah. Jokes aside, though, in the time between when we finish the hiring and before we go to Cassian's estate, I think that's probably when Percy would have sent the messages that are in text roleplay, like sometime that evening before the visit.
Okay.
Just in case anyone hasn't checked it yet.
Yeah, actually a good reminder. There is option, as Percy pointed out, to change appearances here. It does not count as installation of prosthetics or of body sculpting. Doesn't cost permanent system strain. It is just basic cosmetic surgery.
I will be passing on the cosmetic surgery.
All right.
No, thank you.
Fair enough.
All right. Well then. The one moment, please. Ah, there we go. After reporting to the number that Castian left, where you're willing to meet him, you get a message back from the same number. It is simply an address, and a license plate number.
Oh, okay.
Do I get picked up?
Yeah. Oh, and a time, of course. The time tomorrow.
It's so generously reserved us an Uber.
Very magnanimous.
You have a little bit less than one full 24-hour day, or whatever hour length it is on Lamiera, to finish onboarding the crew to where Libra, Natario, and Acid, sheesh, and Kawana and Dima, God help everyone, can get themselves in and start describing and telling them what their duties are. You can certainly be involved in as much of that as you want, but your existing crew are also capable of giving them that instruction.
At least would have liked to have been there for some amount of oversight.
Percy will get there as well.
Okay, all right. You guys can certainly start getting to know some of the crew and seeing how they interact. At least some of your observations about Aurelia were spot on. She is instantly an attraction to the other new crew. Vicky and Maximus are very close. They don't seem to be exhibiting any kind of non-platonic closeness. Like that doesn't seem like Maximus was lying about that. They're just good buddies.
Yay, buddies.
Elena is
friendship.
Very good at listening and following orders. Observations from Doug and other crew would be that she does clearly know what she's about and what she's doing here, but she's just kind of quietly going along with the tour. She's not correcting anything that may have been put incorrectly, and she's basically not causing trouble and not gloating her knowledge.
That's good. Maybe we should, if things go well with her, then maybe we can promote her soonish. so she gets that pay pump that she wanted. Do we happen to stop by the lab where Acid is on the tour?
Yes, and Acid was warned. She's not there.
Okay, fair.
Libra is, and she looks pointedly at all the new people trying to identify the xenophile.
You know what? Libra would probably get mixed up because Vicky's more likely to be interested in her, and she's like, this person's overly interested.
Yeah, it does show when Vicky recognizes Libra as an android. You can see the kind of bubbling. It's not an overflowing excitement. There's definitely wonder though. Like she doesn't know if Libra is one of the androids that has displayed sentience, sapience. And she is trying not to draw attention to herself after having lied on her resume. Oh, I'll go ahead and I'll change her character background now. Did anyone other than Ginja get a chance to see what was put there?
For Elena specifically?
For Vicky.
I don't think I read that one.
I know.
I see.
Very familiar with all things ship.
Yes. Yeah, just the thing you'd want.
Ship. Yes, ship.
I almost did that. I almost overemphasized it deliberately.
I do think that while we're on the tour, actually no, I was going to say that Percy would talk to Libra like a person to sort of put across the point that, no, she is a person. But then I realised that he would have no reason to know that Vicky was questioning whether she's actually sapient or not. So, scratch that.
I don't mind if you guys have talked about these new hires and the things discovered. If you think that would have come up, Jackal.
I mean, everyone would have been briefed about all our new hires, right? Like, it's not like any of the information would pass.
Yeah, but even so, there's no way to know that upon first seeing Libra, Vicky would be like, is she sapient?
No, probably not.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'm probably say hello to Libra anyway, though, just out of, friendship.
Is there any particular interaction or between the new hires or the existing crew or you and any of them that you want to see?
Apart from Asta and Acid, which I was already denied, no, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to deny that for too long.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I just want to make the funny of, yeah, Acid deliberately avoided this.
Yeah, that does sound like Acid.
It does. It really does.
But she can't stay out of the lab forever. She's got her own work to do, especially now that you're letting her do her own work.
That reminds me, how's Libra? That's probably what Percy would ask Libra, actually. How's she feeling about the upgrades?
Oh, yeah. Libra expresses... feels very good. Like Acid has described getting a massage.
Huh.
And she kind of rolls her shoulder joints. Yes. I like it.
I'll be honest, I didn't know what I expected it to feel like to you, but I didn't expect it to feel like that. And also, Acid doesn't strike me as the kind of person to go for massages, but hey. Percy just sort of shrugs. Who am I to judge? I'm glad you're feeling good.
You didn't hear that from me.
Of course not. You should scary lady, do you think I want to cross her?
Libra grins a little bit, and Vicky's mind is made up. She is ecstatic now. She's whispering excitedly to Max. And he's trying to quiet her and calm her down. Yeah, over at some point in the next half a day or so, Acid does come out of wherever she's hiding and get to work in the lab, and the new crew are being run around a second time with some like the specific job assignments. The first time was here's all the things, and then now they're being run around with specific duties at times and things you need to watch for. And Acid is caught by Asta. Asta is just she just stops. Asta Hartman.exe has stopped working. And Acid just stares at her. Eventually, Asta is moved along. No words are exchanged. More to come on the Asta Acid front later. All right. Unless there are any other scenes, it is Cassian time.
I want to be a little self-indulgent.
Please do.
For a moment. How did some of the NPCs find their gifts?
Oh, thank you. Yes,
For
well,
instance, is Demo wearing that pair of shoes?
yes,
Gifts, he means MRDs.
yes, he is, and where is it? I want to show off. Koana is wearing her jacket.
Hot damn, that's a blue jacket.
Yeah.
It is fairly blue, yes, it is.
Like that's not just blue, that's blue!
Blue, dabba-dee, dabba-die.
Kwana has officially taken the role of bluest person on the ship, which is an achievement when there's a Trin on board.
It is more blue than acid.
It's not blue. It's blue, copper, and then a word I can't pronounce.
Phthalocyanine, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Phthalocyanine.
I can only, of course, speak for the NPCs. I'll let everybody else answer. Libra does at some point catch Elise in the hallway or something, and thanks her. Says just real quick in passing, unless Elise wants to stop and say more. Libra says, "Thank you for the cocoa mix and the panda."
Not the earplugs?
We'll make use of them, but the panda meant a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like your welcome is the usual response.
I hope we don't have to actually use the earplugs.
You still have some practicing to do.
In the other room, right? That's what we agreed on.
She nods. And
then walk on.
Yep, she goes on with her duties. You already know what Koana's response is, and you can see from Natario she has made a place on the pilot's console for a big insulated travel mug.
How's Dima with the shoes?
Hmm?
I said,
Oh.
how's Dima with the shoes?
Oh, he loves them. Funny enough, I actually have a picture of shoes I can post too. It wasn't intentional. I was making shoes as a joke for the Artflow server that I'm on. I was trying to make the absolute widest shoes possible, but hey, these work. Dima's shoes, Jackal.
Mhm.
Does that work for you?
That does work for me.
All right. Yeah. Dima's wearing a white, like stylish running shoes.
I'll be honest, when you said whitest shoes possible, I thought you said widest shoes possible, and I was thinking if we got Dima a pair of legs with unnaturally wide feet.
Yep.
What are some of the other crew reactions to those gifts? The PC crews. I don't think Riley got one.
Riley got the generic one that was given to any of the newcomers,
Oh.
which was just
Fair.
Yeah, I got a generic one. I'm not gonna react to that.
consumable toiletries and an MRE, right?
Yeah.
Nothing overtly fancy or flashy there.
I think there's probably a lot more piano practice going on Dass's side. And her pad thing has a bunch of stickers on the back now.
I somehow missed the sticker packs. That's great.
I left it vague enough so that they could be anything
Yeah.
that you wanted.
Yeah, I think Percy would actually approach Elise about it. Yeah, just pick a location where Elise would be hanging out, and I'll just so happen to cross paths with you there.
I think she's spending a lot more time in the rec room practicing.
Sure, I'll
That
stop by there.
coincides as well with Das practicing.
Oh, nice.
Just in the opposite corner, trying not to be too loud.
Yeah, in that case, knock knock.
Well, it's the rec room, so you can just enter.
I know, but like you guys are practicing in there, I want to give you a bit of advance warning because you won't be able to hear me sneaking up on you. I mean, approaching.
But yeah, at least we'll look over at Percy and stop playing.
Hey, we just wanted to say thanks for the, like the presents that you left around. I do really like Snowy, but honestly, I think the note meant as much as the present because I'm messing this up, but things have been weird between. I feel like things have been weird between us recently with the after trail mix, and I'm glad you're not pissed at me.
So you didn't like the stuff then?
No, I said I did like Snowy. Just the note also meant just as much.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I'll leave you to it. Just, yeah, thank you. And I think Percy will take that opportunity to just quietly peace out.
Elise is just kind of sitting there in silence.
Is it really silence if Das is playing on the other side of the room?
It's a marked different silence.
I know.
Yeah. I do wonder how well Das is doing at that.
I want to make a roll.
Perform.
We're
Perform
gonna do
charisma?
Perform wisdom this time for kind of.
Wisdom. Oh, I already had thingy selected. Wisdom is +1 on top of that, but it's not good.
Okay, well that's You know, that's showing improvement. It's I picked a wisdom to represent how well you know, Das is kind of picking up on cues, is overcoming personal confirmation bias. You know how some people think that they're the best player in the world when they really suck. And kind of actually learning and growing from mistakes. So obviously you can feel free to countermand any of that, but that's the reason I picked wisdom.
Yeah, I think the seeing biases is probably a good one, but I think Das would be approaching that from the other side, thinking she's a lot worse than she actually is.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. So it's still coming along. At least to an outside observer, Das is improving. Anything else?
It sounds like a showtime.
Indeed.
Right. 1 second here. All right. I do have to ask 2 questions here. Do you actually go to the given place at the given time? Or do you do something else like scout the location or go straight to his estate? You know, your PCs, I have to ask.
I don't feel like we can exactly scout the estate, can we? Can we?
You can certainly try. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from deciding you want to do that.
That sounds like DM. That sounds like DM speak for don't.
Well, it sounds like DM speak for you can make whatever decisions you like. It just you may not be able to execute on those decisions.
Those decisions may be horrible,
Yeah.
and we are not responsible for any damages.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of just going straight there.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Straight there, as in to the given location or to his estate?
Well, the estate was one.
Okay.
The estate was one of the locations, wasn't it?
No, he gave you an address to basically to meet a car that's going to take you there, presumably.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, sure.
You can have known this before going there, because of course you're going to look up the location. It's there's no parts of town that are bad in House LaRue, of course. But if you were to make comparisons, this is the bad area of House LaRue. There are fewer government buildings. And
not very terrible. That's not, I guess, a good part of House LaRue.
Yeah.
And there's no real like places to go here. It's just all residential. There's of course the occasional corner store for things that people just need real quick there. Nowhere near as frequent as they are on our corners. You get a corner store maybe one every 4 or 5 corners. And they're usually more the mom and pop store variety. No big chains plunking a store down on every corner. But the location is in a cul-de-sac, surrounded by houses where presumably it's the work day. Everybody's at work. In other words, had you go somewhere for the least amount of people will see you getting into this car?
Hmm.
The second question I want to ask is Riley coming along for this part of the adventure?
If she's invited.
As
Don't you
GM,
know,
I
I
would
suppose?
like you guys to find a reason, but if you say it's absolutely out of character, I will accept that.
I mean,
No,
the
I don't
obvious
see,
reason
why not.
is well, bridge crew now, so they should be involved in this. And secondary obvious answer for that is if we get into a scrape, doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take? I guess I did have one more question. Do you want to take any NPCs with you?
No, I think bringing Riley when he wasn't expecting it. While that will be good for throwing him off his game a bit, it's also maybe a bit too much of a push to bring more than one extra person.
Mm.
Let's bring Libra.
Hmm.
All right, everybody you're taking, put them in the mission team in the mission box.
Where's the mission box?
We have next to the conference room box that we're in.
I see.
Could somebody please put me in the mission box?
I'm moving you to the mission
Consider it
box.
done.
I have no access to my screen.
Oh, grim.
Right.
I'd like to take Libra on the off chance.
Oh,
that
that's
there
the
will be
mission
violence.
box. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Wait, are we
never
actually
know
taking
if there
Libra?
will be violence.
Do you think?
Are we actually taking Libra then?
I would like to, personally. For
Yeah,
violence
okay.
sake.
Okay.
I move Des into the box.
I was just about to. Are we bringing Douglas with us as well, or are we going to leave him to oversee things at the ship?
You won't be at this through into next session, so you can go ahead and leave him behind. Basically, we
Okay.
won't have to make any excuses for how he suddenly shows up next session.
Mhm. Cool. And we don't need to deal with him being suspiciously quiet here.
Right. He is. I don't know if he wanted to go or not, but he is making certain that the people who will be interacting with the engineering parts of the ship at all are familiar with the things, the way he likes them to be done, and also bringing Chishen up to speed on the more intricate, in-depth things about the ship, since she is your technician you hired. So, he has a lot of work to do on the ship. Which means you guys have left the ship, the new hires, in the charge of Acid, Koana, and Nataria. I mean, technically also Doug, but, basically Acid. Oh, and Dima. Where is Dima's token?
I don't know.
Put Dima's token on there. There you go. You've got a Dima token too.
Yay.
As opposed to just a blank miscellaneous token.
Right. He's actually got a face now.
Yeah. Got a face.
All right. When you arrive at the designated place, you are asked to pull your vehicle, unless you took an Uber there yourself, into a garage of one of the houses. The garage door is opened. This is just kind of one of those blank, nameless people that you see in shows. He's got a suit on, he's got the shades on, clearly got an earpiece. He stepped out of the front passenger side of the car. You were right, it is a stretch limo and it is 100% tinted. Nobody will see inside. Does anybody have panspectral optics? I think somebody got that.
Not
didn't they?
yet.
Not yet. Okay, right. You put that off because you didn't want the implant sickness.
Cyber sickness. Yeah. Not during this. I'd rather do that when we're in space.
Okay. All right, then to everyone, it looks like a normal tinted limo.
Oh, goody.
And do you follow instruction? Put the car in the garage and all that jazz.
Well, personally, I was thinking we'd crash it through one of the side walls. No, I'm joking. We'll put it in the garage.
And that's right. You guys did rent a car, if I recall. So you didn't need to take an Uber here. You just drove your rented car.
Oh, true.
All right. Once the car is parked in the garage, I think I still have a picture for her. A woman comes out. Yes, I do. We're not on the ship though, so let's go ahead and move us over to grab all of you. And the gridless grid. I don't even know what we used it for last. Oh goodness, that's a mess. Wow.
Quite a lot of things on here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Japanese man, the Russian man, the Slav man.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Japanese man, Russian man? What?
What in the world is this?
This was a plan for the ambush/meeting with Trail.
I
Yeah.
see.
We discussed
is-
for quite some time on how to approach this.
Yeah. The thing that keeps coming up about Trail Mix, this is the meeting with Trail Mix.
I see.
Yep.
That's the name of his bounty hunter group.
Let's see. That worked. It did. All right, fantastic. We'll move you over to a new gridless grid because I don't want to delete all that.
Yeah, rather than stars without number, it's grids without squares.
Grids without grids.
But if it's a grid without a grid, then what is it?
I don't know.
There's a question.
Getting philosophical.
All right. A woman steps out of is let out of the passenger cabin, not the front passenger seat, but the passenger cabin where you'll presumably be sitting. And she approaches with a kind of mousy lion demeanor, in that she's not, projecting any kind of airs or authority. She has a quiet looking manner to her, and when she speaks, a fairly quiet voice as well. She is dressed nicely, just like the nameless man in the suit and glasses, shades. And she walks close enough to be within normal speaking volume distance of you, and greets you. Hello, Raza. I'm glad you agreed to this meeting. Please, if you would, step inside. The shades and suits are holding doors open for you.
Oh,
We shall proceed, I suppose.
Go ahead and walk in. Yeah.
Oh, we should probably clarify before we get too far into this, by the way. Has anybody else brought weapons?
That is a very good question.
Ronnie
does?
is just spinning her little tube, but that's it.
Would it have been reasonable to be able to carry a gun here?
Not really. You have to make it through a few checkpoints before you can have guns that are weapons that aren't hidden in some way. first of all, you were out at your ship, which is outside the city. You have to get into the city. There's definitely a checkpoint looking for weapons there. And actually, I guess that would be it, since you'd be in a car at that point. You would have just driven straight here. So yeah, you would have needed to get past one checkpoint in order to bring weapons to this.
I don't think that I have any weapons then.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to risk messing this up, I suppose.
Yeah.
Damn it, the sooner I get my cyber, the better. I mean, technically we have a weapon. We have Libra.
You do have Libra. Okay. As
Oh God, if Dix wasn't already planning on springing an ambush, he definitely is now that he knows we're unarmed.
it's gonna get worse. As Elise is passing by, she introduces herself as Charlotte. She puts out a hand, either to hold Elise at her shoulder, if she doesn't otherwise stop herself, and she nods, deferentially, respectfully, and says, "Please refrain from any psychic activity in mine or Cassian's vicinity." And now that it's kind of at the forefront of her mind, Elise feels a sort of metadimensional interference.
Is that coming across in the form of like a headache or
No, it's actually
sinking
quite
feeling in her chest?
It's actually quite subtle. It would definitely flare up before she tried to use any psychic, or before any psychic thing, tried to activate without her intent. Anything that she did intentionally or unintentionally psychic-wise would invoke a much stronger reaction. But right now, it's just kind of like a soft buzzing or a very slight case of tinnitus. It's noticeable, but it's not terribly distracting or upsetting.
Because that's noticed this. She's got a well psychic talent, hasn't she?
Actually, yes. Thank you for reminding me. She looks over at Das and includes her in this request.
Okay.
Just by eyes and looks alone. And Das also, I'm not sure if Das would notice it as easily. Das isn't trained. At least notices it. Why don't you give me a wisdom notice check for Das?
Okay.
Or Constitution, whichever is better for her.
Definitely wisdom.
Okay. That's good enough anyways. Yeah, Das, now that the idea of acting in any psychic manner is brought to the forefront of her brain, she does notice that little bit of extra noise or interference that wasn't there before. For Das, it maybe comes across as like scan lines on a computer screen. It's not going to affect anything that she's doing or coding, but it's there.
But it's there, and it's different.
And it gives the impression that if she were to try to do anything, if she were try to actually hack whatever she's looking at on the screen would just shut off.
Right. Okay.
So for mechanical information, you are under a metadimensional friction field. And for further mechanical information, a metadimensional friction field isn't a thing. That power targets one person at a time. So this is slightly different than what power is stated in the book. Activating any psychic or activity or effect or whatever will do 3d8 damage to you.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch! That could kill Das.
I mean, quite a lot could kill Das.
This wouldn't actually be lethal. So you've at least got that going.
That could knock Das unconscious.
Yes.
Yeah. Quite a lot could. Yeah.
But yes.
What is that? I haven't rolled high on my hit points for like anything since level 2.
Charlotte has identified and put the psychics on notice.
Yep.
She steps into the car after you, assuming you all get in.
Yeah, fair.
Gives a look over at John and a deferential nod. Thank you for your service, sir. The Randall Gambit at the Scouring of Trinity Shade was taught in my Galactic Mandate Academy. Very bold maneuver. I do see that Nox has unmuted.
Yeah, if the crew wasn't able to pull it off, it wouldn't have mattered. But thank you.
And you are a credit to good starship captains everywhere. Now the car starts moving, as this conversation is occurring. Charlotte doesn't have anything else to say, unless anyone has questions or makes conversation with her.
I guess I have some like probing questions of like, so why have you called us here, right, and stuff like that. But maybe those probing questions are best saved for our actual meeting.
Yeah, if anything like that is asked, then Charlotte defers to ask that of Cassian in your meeting. Cassian will best answer that, or Mr. LaRue, she says.
Mr. LaRue.
Yeah.
Cassie doesn't actually say that, but he's thinking it.
He's technically Lord LaRue, but she is calling him Mr. LaRue.
Do you think he'd get upset if I called him Cassie?
Does Percy ask that?
No.
Okay.
No, Viral does.
All right. Well, now seems like a good time to take our 15-minute break, right as you are pulling into the estate of Cassian LaRue. I will note you can see out of the window. It's not like they were trying to put a paper bag over your head. It was clear that
nice of them.
they were masking your arrival at the estate.
Yeah, it won't be seen meeting with us in case people put together who we are, as one of our recruits did.
Yeah, well, lucky that the recruit that figured out it was a fangirl.
Yeah. Yeah, the one person on this planet who's figured out who the hell we are, and they're like, please let me join, please let me join.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a break until, let's see, it's, we'll do 13 minutes until about 25 after.
Okay, I'm going to disconnect briefly. I'll see you soon.
Yep. We're going to hop back in here. And, Kawana had also, arranged some gifts. I didn't want to post them immediately after Jackal because it I felt a little bit too much like copycat.
Mhm.
Let me format these. Actually, I don't think yeah, Discord won't hold the formatting. So now that everybody has gotten the gifts from Elise, I'm gonna go ahead and put that into text roleplay also. Gifts. You will find these when you get back from the LaRue estate, as long as you're still alive.
Ominous.
See, I wasn't concerned about whether we'd still be alive before, but now that you say that,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not
I wasn't
a
worried
threat,
before.
It's a promise.
yeah.
Well, if it's any consolation, those of you that are not going to the LaRue estate will definitely be alive when those of you that live through the LaRue estate get back.
not
Does that help?
helping.
So Doug's definitely going to be fine.
Yeah.
Completely unworrisome statements. Yep.
Why do I get the feeling there's a non-zero chance he's going to be the new captain of the Raza and have to recruit a whole new crew of PCs?
Easy to do that without the acting head of personnel.
I mean, he
Yeah,
becomes acting head of personnel at that point, I think.
I was going to say, if that happens, our current acting head of personnel will become an acting dead of personnel.
You see, I would need to get this okayed by the current acting captain if I can be acting executive officer, and then we'll just all bump down titles as we go.
All right. You are driven to Cassian's estate. It is magnificent. It is raised up on a hill and has an amazing view of the sea outside. House LaRue is situated on a coastline, and so he's facing that and has a view.
Which fucking beachfront property.
He has beachfront property. Oh, it's not great beachfront. It's more beach view. Like you'd have to go quite some ways from his estate to get down to the beach.
That's still good.
You can see. Maybe it's because of the polarized glass you're looking through. You didn't see it before, but you can see the very subtlest hints of some kind of a bubble around that estate. LaRue, by all appearances, those of you that would make this leap, has some kind of pre-tech force fielding technology, defensive technology, around his estate. Which makes a little bit of sense, because if he didn't, he would be exposed to, good long-range snipers from other hills along the coastline that can see past his estate walls.
Mm-hmm.
There are multiple guard checkpoints that the car passes through and that Charlotte is waved through before you actually reach a large open courtyard. One second, please.
I distrust the ominousness of that chuckle.
I think that was a cough, not a chuckle.
DM that chuckles ominously at any
That was
point
me,
in time ever.
Is it? It sounds like a.
No, I think it was me coughing.
Yeah, I think that was a cough. Yeah,
Yeah.
paranoid viral. Nobody chuckled.
Broken clock's right twice a day.
Yep.
As I deliberately chuckle evilly.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, broken clock twice a day.
The heck? Okay, there it is. I lost my map for a second. See, would you also see that? No. The car does come to a stop at a roundabout, around a fountain. And you're still a fair distance away from the house. You're gonna have to walk along his very nicely cobbled pathway, past some open, just swimming pools and lily ponds. There's probably a koi pond in there also. It's a very well-kept garden. Not garden, sorry. Well-kept grass with white and pink roses flowering here and there. Charlotte is let out of the vehicle by one of the faceless, suited and shaded people. And she gestures for all of you to exit along with her.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect time for the music to crescendo. As you're gathered just outside the car, maybe looking around, maybe looking at her, wherever you're looking, she makes a couple of last quick comments. Please remember whose estate you are on, and try to be as respectful as you can. Mr. LaRue is a very patient man, but he is also a very busy man. Does not like his time being wasted. Are you ready to meet the man of the house?
And not waste his time, yes.
She starts walking up to what must be the front entrance of the estate.
I'm moving as a group just on the off chance that we get jumped, which I find severely unlikely, but you never know. Percy is going to gravitate to the opposite side of the group from Libra so that they can guard from 2 different directions.
Yeah. I forgot to comment on Libra. Charlotte did to those of you that have a notice skill of, we'll go with 0 or better, just the basic notice. There was recognition in Charlotte's eyes upon seeing Libra. Not just, glancing across Libra, but like actually looking at Libra, there was recognition.
Well, that's worrisome.
It's fine.
You don't stay.
She's popular, right?
Well, go ahead and roll. Those of you that did have a notice 0 or better, go ahead and roll a wisdom check. Wisdom notice.
Oh, let's go.
Look.
And I'll start narrating as we go, because there is at least one success. Yeah, this was an 8 or better.
Oh, no, it's there.
Oh, what?
Hang on, I
He's
passed
not very
something.
upset.
Sorry, did I miss something? Was there a question there?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So I guess everyone but Riley. It's not so much a recognition of Libra as it is a recognition of that's a combat android. She knows that you have brought a weapon.
Well, that's rude. Leave it as a
That
person.
is, yeah, that's incredibly rude and regardless.
Right.
It is the same terminology you guys used.
Jokingly.
Well,
Okay, there's a big difference. We're friends, and she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing that I always say about how like it's okay to be offensive to a group that you're part of because it's self-deprecating? Like,
I don't
it's okay
know.
for us to be
I don't know
like,
what you mean, Viral. Every time you're
Like,
mean
it's
to me, I cry.
and that's not okay because you know what I mean, though, right?
Yes, I do. I do.
Like, because
Are
Libra's
you
part of the
going
Raza
to-
crew and so are we can select her. If somebody who's not part of the Raza crew has got Libra, that's likely to make her turn into the weapon they suspect her to be.
Funny enough, in this example, Libra actually would feel hurt if somebody called her a weapon, even one of you. That is a sore point for her that you cannot slag off as friends.
Yeah, of course our characters can't, but as players,
Oh, well, we're getting to so many different levels of this.
Anyways, yeah, so she recognizes that Libra as a combat android. Big whoop. He'll probably appreciate the paranoia if he's anywhere near as paranoid as we are. Didn't this guy wrestle the bro so that he could make peace treaties with them?
He did, and you know it's not exactly like he's completely innocent in this himself. As you're walking through the front entrance, you see what is clearly a combat robot, not android, a combat robot, like as in a heavy warbot type combat robot.
If he didn't have some sort of guards, then I would say that he was nowhere near paranoid enough and probably deserved whatever Libra does to him if Libra does anything to him.
Roll me a shoot wisdom check from Percy.
Oh.
Anyone who would have, who thinks that their character would have knowledge of advanced robotics or mechanics, you can go ahead and roll an int fix. Okay. Percy, yeah, you see signs of guards. You don't see the guards, but you see signs of guards, and you know that that there is a guard presence. It's made more difficult by the fact that they clean up after themselves. Nobody's leaving a chip bag lying around. But you know, you see like okay, that section of wall has is a little bit too thick. There's obviously an outpost in there. That building looks like it's probably a barracks. He has on-site live-in guards.
Yeah, because however, like, even if he doesn't consciously remember it, Percy's been doing this for years. This is far from his first rodeo.
Riley, that's not just a heavy warbot. That is a Hiss Sentinel Mark III. Hang on real quick. Where did I put
Worrying
that?
statements, if I've ever heard one.
Actually, you know what? With Riley having been here for a little while, probably has even knows of them. Hiss is Home Integration Security Solutions, a company out in House Metro that specifically builds warbot and civilian security bots. The kinds of things you defend your own personal home with. The Mark III is
home security bots, right?
is a very upgraded model. In terms of how structurally stable it is, like how much punishment it can take and how effective it is in combat. Now, again, hit points are not meat points and hit dice aren't meat dice, but they do represent a level of they help to represent a level of punishment and combat ability. They're 8 hit dice.
That's a lot.
We maintain worried.
Concern.
Yeah, that is a lot in this system when most humans are 1 to 3. You guys, being PCs, are exceptions.
Well, most of us are exceptions.
Fair enough. Its hit dice are 8-sided, yours are 6.
Oh, ouch.
Yep. That's all NPCs, just by the way. NPCs get to roll a d8 instead of the d6 you guys get. So, you
Percy at
are...
least gets a d6 plus 2. That's better than a d8.
Yes, it is. Um, you
Gus
are.
gets a bunch of d6s that always come up 1 somehow.
Zas with 7 hit points.
It's a shame you can't eject a bit of evil on your hit dice.
Yeah.
Don't worry, after the session, anyone who is still alive will get to reroll their hit points.
Yep. And roll low again and end up with 15, right?
Yes. And there's the man himself in a spectacularly modern and antique, like, not dining room, entertainment room. There's a circular couch, semicircle around a table with a holographic display above it, and he is sitting on one arm of that couch, not on the actual arm of it, but by one arm of the couch, and looks over as Charlotte announces your entrance, as Mr. LaRue, the Raza crew are arrived. He stands up. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. And he starts walking towards you. Please, come in. Motions you towards the couch.
That's you. Come in.
At least we'll go straight to the couch.
Yep, that's true.
Once everyone else has sat or decided that they're not going to sit,
That's fine.
he does sit down, and I'm gonna lower the music just a little bit. It's distracting me right now. Yeah. And he opens with, "Welcome, Raza. I'm surprised that you would land here on Lamier instead of keeping a low profile. But here you are."
We had business. Pissy shrugs a little bit.
A little bold.
What was that, Jackal?
And feeling a little bold.
Bold indeed. And I'm glad you did. I might not have known you were in the town otherwise. I have some questions that I would like you to answer. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Pauses to collect his thoughts for a second. I would like to know what happened with my daughter. From your side, story.
Why do you ask? We haven't seen her for months.
I know she was on your ship, and she came back with no memories of it. So I'll ask you again, what happened with my daughter?
Pissy sort of looks around to see if anybody else looks like they're about to field that question.
I think you might need to get a little bit more specific for us.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Question of tone. Is this like some vaguely threatening tone?
That's a good question. Go ahead and roll wisdom notice.
I'm sorry, could you roll for me, please?
I could, yeah. Give me a second. And also allow talk wisdom if you prefer. Or I suppose I could even go for a lead wisdom if you want to argue for that.
I guess it could be argued, but I think noticed works
Okay.
fine.
That is a 4.
That is not good. I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll that.
All right. That is a 4.
Oh
All
god.
right.
Oof.
As it goes.
It was not meant to be for John this time.
Not meant to be for John.
I should just turn this down right in audio, so I'm not changing every track. Alright, that's better. In response to Elise asking him to be more specific, he nods and then says, I can do that. Tell me everything you know. That should cover all bases. If it pertains to my daughter, I am asking you to tell me.
Honestly, there's not much to tell, really. Your daughter wasn't the only one who lost her memories, and she was gone by the time we came to, basically.
I worried that might be the case. Do you know what happened to her memories and anyone else affected?
Well, most of the people in this room were affected at one point.
Most of. Who wasn't?
At least we'll look over at Libra and Riley.
Neither of them were with us at the time, though.
Yeah.
And what do you two know? Looks at Riley first.
Wait, who first?
Riley.
Well, I was on it just earlier this week, so I know nothing.
Very well. You. Looks at Libra. And she responds honestly. I wasn't on the ship when the event occurred. And she gives a little bit more detail, says that they were waiting for the Roz's return on Henry Station. Cassian nods. That is unfortunate.
We saw a report on Artemis Black News Network about you and Zoe a while ago. If I remember right, there was something about her attitude having changed.
The pause is his, not mine.
Yeah.
When he looks up from his contemplation after that comment, as he goes back to a prior line of kind of thought and question he had, then what do you know of this memory loss? I'll be more specific. Have you found a way to reverse it?
Reverse, not exactly, but the memories aren't exactly gone. Just like put on a hard drive.
Stored in a format that's hard to access.
Oh, do you have?
We
My-
had a specialist of us warned us that it could be traumatic if we tried to re-upload all the memories at once. And frankly, we were different people then, and I'm pretty sure we're happier as we are now. Which is why we didn't go straight for that option.
Yes, my daughter seems happier now also. You have her hard drive. Or whatever you want to call it.
We do, don't we?
Not with us.
No, not
Yeah.
with you, but you guys, it is amongst the QEDs.
No, that's what Percy's saying to Cassian LaRue, not with us.
Gotcha, sorry. I would offer you a substantial sum of money, as well as some information I think you might be interested in, if you will deliver that hard drive to me.
If you don't mind my asking, if you think that Zoe is happier as she is now, then what's your reason for being so interested in? Like, you remember what she used to be like. The memories are there for you.
Watch
And if
your
she's happier
words,
now,
son.
apologies. I'm just curious.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to throw this in there, most of us have started to look at our previous memories, and it's not exactly the nicest experience. So,
My Zoe was a troubled little girl, and when she was returned, she thankfully did not recall any of the trauma that occurred while she was away from my care. I would see that nobody else has access to her memories. But I am fine with how she is now. She is peaceful, happy, and will make a fantastic lady of the house. Which, if you are as skilled as rumors and myth would say, you know that she was not a kind or gentle person.
Character, Percy's already pissed him off once, so I don't want to ask. But I wonder what Zoe thinks of this.
well, at least we'll take that stance for you.
Thank you.
And basically ask, is she wanting to see these memories, or are you wanting it for her?
I want them destroyed.
Sounds
What
like
does
he
she feel about
doesn't
that?
even want them.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Does she know that we're even having this conversation?
This isn't something she needs to worry herself about.
It kind of is, though, don't you think? It is her life.
And
that
I'm
you
her
want to
father.
delete. Uh-huh.
Name your price. I will start with 200,000 credits.
Lisa's just looking around at everyone else's faces. She's not exactly thrilled by this prospect anymore.
Percy's been looking kind of troubled ever since Cassie's revealed that Zoe doesn't know about this, and he's making the decision for her.
And I promise you that what information I have, you will want it. Leans forward. You see, I don't come into meetings unprepared either. And I know who scavenged your ship and left you for dead.
So what you actually just to work out here, what you actually want out of this is no one having access to those memories. Is that right?
I would personally see whatever this hard drive is destroyed.
Does it have to be destroyed or is it erased enough?
It has to be destroyed, sufficient to my tech advisor's advising.
Is there any possibility that this can include Zoe?
If you were a hateful and spiteful, mean-spirited little girl who threatened to cut off a maid's face just to see what she would look like, would you ever want to go back to that after you become a gentle, kind soul? She is
I don't
doing
want to.
well. She is
I don't.
learning the ins and outs. He just talks right over Percy. She is learning the ins and outs of governing a city and of caring for its people.
I didn't want to go back to being a bloodthirsty space pirate and terrorist, but I didn't. But anyone here will tell you, I've been looking into my memories more than any of them to find the spots of light and the good things from before. Did Zoe really have nothing good that she might want to see again?
You're also not a 17-year-old girl. Actually, I think she's 18.
I mean, I think she is, and Elisa's pointing at Des. And
yeah, that's definitely said like we don't know that. Like there's Das has no idea how old she is. There's every chance she's 17.
I just I hear what you are saying, right? But there is got to be something in your daughter that wants to know what or who she was. And it's not going to change her or like cause some sort of reversion back. It's just going to give her context.
What, to know that she was a mean kid that everyone hated? How does that help her
I'm
now?
not wishing that she knew that. I'm saying that it should be her choice.
I don't think that she's mature enough to make that choice.
Then perhaps we need to change this deal that you will receive this when she is mature enough to make a decision about it. Or something. Just let's not just destroy it.
And how do I know that you won't look into this hard drive?
Because we haven't. And we're not.
It wouldn't.
I'm to take you at your word on that.
It'd be nigh impossible for us to anyway, because it only works well for someone who's very similar to the kind of person whose memories were on it. And even for your own one, it's difficult at the best of times.
I went into his memories and I saw nothing.
Apart from my core trauma, but yes.
Don't you fucking correct me.
Sorry.
Correction is not
We do also need to consider that you want to know what happened to your daughter. We want to know what happened to us. The answers could be in there somewhere.
What if we set up like a lockbox or something, like a neutral ground, so to speak? We give you we put it in there with a code that you set, and then we know the address, you know the code. At a certain date, the information is swapped.
The exchange of light does have safe boxes, and even I cannot simply open any box that I want to.
So in that case, it is secure. It's not with us anymore. We can't back it up.
We would set it up so that someone from each party must be present. A representative from each party must be present to open
it. Like a 2-key system. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
you can't get at it without you. You can't get at it without us.
When your daughter is more mature, she can make a decision about whether or not these memories are destroyed, or if she gets the chance to look at them,
or if she gets passed them straight to you.
But she makes that choice, and you kept that choice safe for her, such that nobody else could interfere.
What is the process of looking into the memories? Can you look for any specific memories, or is it just whatever's there?
You can try if you know what you're looking for, but like I said, it's difficult even with your own memories and near impossible with someone else's.
I would like her to know her mother.
There you go. I knew there must be something.
She could find that. I found what it was like when I was at school, so it's not impossible.
I'll accept these terms.
Excellent. I'm glad we could reach something that works for everyone.
Is there nothing else you can tell me about her time on the Raza at all?
Percy will actually turn to Libra for that one, because she's the only person here who remembers Zoe being on the Raza.
Oof. Putting Libra on the spot.
Well, who else is going to answer that question? None of the rest of us even remember who this person is.
It did turn out to be a good idea to bring Libra after all. I'm sorry whoever it was I doubted. I'm sorry whoever it was I doubted.
Someone roll me a skill check for Libra. She's not proficient in this.
Give me a sec, I'll do it.
Alright. It was your idea, so I think you should take responsibility for the role. Yeah, good.
That's reasonable. Wait, where's the skill button again?
It's in the little box in the top right with all the little boxes inside of it.
Oh, abilities? Oh wait, no, skill, there it is.
Yep.
Let me see here. There we go. Hey, you got Libra.
What? Oh, I think that included
Nice.
the proficiency bonus.
Oh, that would be an 11 then.
Yes, that is still phenomenal.
Still pretty good.
Yes.
God, my dice only work for me when I'm rolling them with someone else.
Yes.
I am going to adjust it a little bit because she is not bullshitting.
Okay.
Obviously, the number stays 11. It's just the description of it. Libra is able to relate to Cassian in an inoffensive way that Zoe was actually happy on the Raza. She still wasn't a great kind person. She had, this is the part where Libra is being the most diplomatic. She had clearly had psychological issues from something in her past. And I think here's where Libra may throw the party for a little bit of a surprise.
What?
Libra cites several concepts from philosophy, and specifically, quotes Kant, in some explorations of consciousness and memory, and experiences shaping a person, and how the Raza was effectively a different body for Zoe, in which she could kind of be the person that she was meant to be, not the person that her past had shaped her to be.
Yeah, so rather than being forced to be the heiress, she could just be Zoe.
Yeah, she notes that Zoe liked understated colors, muted browns and earthy colors, unlike the bright, fashionable colors that she wore before, while she was, the heiress on Lamiera. That she really liked jiggering with things. She loved creating and being mechanically creative. It's actually what saved her life on the Raza. And is
Okay, so
able
that's what Doug's assistant went.
and is also able to relate that Zoe was actually rescued from thugs on Lamiera, uh, which is how she ended up on the Raza. She was being beat up by people who wanted to, when they recognized who she was, who were going to ransom her to the highest bidder, and 808 put a very quick and bloody end to that, and brought Zoe on board and made sure that her wounds were tended. And Libra relates all this with an inoffensive and level tone. Yes, it was still basically another kidnapping.
Okay,
I
so
mean, we
is
knew
that,
that, right?
Yeah,
is that
kind
us
of.
at 3 now, or?
Zoe was not technically in a conscious state to agree to join the Raza.
Yeah, so it's Zoe, Das, Kwana. Am I missing any?
Das, I would argue that Das technically was not actually kidnapped.
I know, but we
Because
were
she
joking
was
about
a-
it before to
She was
make
a
the count on course.
stowaway into. Well, yeah, but stowaway into begging to join is not exactly kidnapping, I would say.
Yeah,
Kidnap yourself.
yeah. Begging
Yeah.
to join on threat of being fired out of the airlock.
Well, indeed, there is that.
Yeah. But yeah, so how does Cassian take all this about what Zoe was like?
He takes it in stride. Yeah, comments that he has noticed she is much more mechanically handy, and perhaps it was just because, growing up, there was always somebody to do everything that she might have wanted to do herself. He does, kind of quietly admit that he may not have been the most attentive or the best father, and he really doesn't know what he's doing, or didn't. And after a further moment of thought, he simply says, "Thank you." My princess is happy now, and she likes what she is doing. I only want to ensure that nothing else ever hurts her or harms her in a way that doesn't build character, of course. She will suffer her failures.
We're agreed on that. I was going to say challenge builds growth.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll go. When will we go to the exchange of light to set up the lockbox for her QED?
We should do that before I give you the information about your sabotage. I wouldn't want to
Understandable.
jeopardize our meeting with anything you might do while there.
Out of character, I want to say, go on, would we sabotage a deal? But we absolutely would, given the chance if we thought we could get away with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's our next stop.
We can't all walk into the exchange of light together. Who would you like to make this initial arrangement?
Das would definitely be looking towards John.
Yeah, I think he's the highest
Like,
commanding
not-
officer we
Yep.
have here.
Yeah, not necessarily saying it, but it kind of feels like that's the right choice.
Yeah.
That is, he catches and nods. Yes. Mr. Randall. We didn't know each other, but we both fought in that battle I mentioned earlier on Trinity Shade. I've already forgotten what it was named. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
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 The scouring of Trinity Shade. He says we both fought as
Mm.
scouring of Trinity Shade.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have acid with us.
Yeah.
Well, for a quick clarification of that, the scouring of Trinity Shade was actually before the Trin were forcibly moved there. I don't know what idiot decided to name 2 planets Trinity something and then make the something rhyme, but some idiot did that when they were scouting all of these planets and systems.
Mm.
Calling them both Trinity or something for being twin planets would be fine.
Well, they weren't
the
Trin
second
planets,
half-
though.
Calling 2 planets Trinity would be fine if the second parts didn't rhyme.
Yeah, or if they were in the same system, maybe.
Would also help.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
But no, the scouring of Trinity Shade was actually the precursor to the war, the siege of Un.
The Siege of Bleh.
Yeah, where apparently the bro had decided to start expanding, and that's one of the places that they just decided to set down roots. It was owned by Union at the time. Union didn't really want them there, but the bro didn't give a fuck. And so there were some joint efforts to just basically bomb the bro colonies on Trinity Shade. That was about 30 years ago. The Trin were moved from Trinity Fade over to Trinity Shade about 8 years ago.
And then also bombed.
No, they haven't actually been bombed on Trinity Fade. On Trinity Shade. Their atmosphere was
Right.
bombed on Trinity Fade.
Yeah, we all know how that turned out. Panda.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, Cassian invites you to take advantage of the whatever areas of his estate are accessible. You know, shows you that the doors are locked and will not open to you if it's a place that you're not supposed to go. And so don't unlock any doors, and he'll go with John to the exchange. Oh, you guys need to actually get the thing, don't you? You do.
Yeah, we probably should. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're okay with it, he'll arrange for John to be allowed back out to the ship. Won't even have to go through customs. Won't have to go through customs or go through the main city gate coming back in. So John could technically bring a weapon back in if he wanted.
I was going to say, bring my guns with you. I joke, obviously.
No, you don't.
I can't exactly hide a rifle in my pocket now, can I?
Not yet, you can't. Or wait, what is it you like to say? Not with that attitude, you can't.
There we go.
Are the rest of the characters okay with basically being left to entertain yourself in this very finely appointed estate while Cassian goes about his business and John goes off to the ship?
Oh no, the horror.
I'm okay with that because I have something of a plan.
I
Oh,
Which would be
boy.
slim.
Oh
It would be
boy.
slim odds. It'd be slim odds normally, but given that it's dramatically convenient, I think it's better odds it would be in reality.
Okay. All
I
right.
think Percy would. I think Percy would like to meander about, just take in the estate, and cross his fingers, and hope to cross paths with Zoe as she's going somewhere.
We have the same. That's what I was hoping to do.
All right. Well then, John is given a, well, not given a, his led to a car, and he's this time allowed to sit wherever he wants, except for the driver's seat,
On the roof.
and except for on the
Yeah.
hood. Inside the vehicle, and not in the trunk. Damn it! I have to cover everything for Byron.
You read my mind.
I didn't
Yeah.
even say anything about the trunk.
I was expecting it.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
was
wasn't-
going to say something if there was
Yeah.
silence went on any longer. So, you know.
See, I'm indoctrinating the others into my way of thinking.
You are.
And I'll get to what Nox is typing in just a moment there. The rest of you are left alone. Cassian says he does have business. He, he's running a city, and so he has business to attend. But the run of rooms that you have is, it's obviously not the full mansion. It does include outdoors. You're allowed outside. Yeah, Cassian does decline that.
Do they have a library?
He does have a library with physical books.
I'd like to go read through it.
Yeah. Cassian has a bunch of older books, actual antique books, not just reprints. From as far back as about, the oldest is probably about 2200s. Preserved, of course, with something that has not destroyed the ancient qualities of the book. Aside from the ancient qualities of books crumble over that much time. A lot of them are of are actually of a philosophical nature, and also a lot of philosophy and sociology and psychology on running a city, on controlling people, on
Fascinating.
controlling people in both the good ways and the bad ways. Controlling them for their own benefit and controlling them for your own gain. The newer books that he has are largely involving mechanics, fiddly little mechanical bits, like little clockwork engineering things, a few not steampunk, but steam work. I guess it would still be steampunk. Steam engine things. And they're clearly very recent purchases that signify what Zoe came back interested in.
I'm gonna have a read and see see more about what she'd be interested in, and who knows, maybe I'll run into her here.
There are, of course, gigantic holographic video displays, music. There is a swimming pool, and if anybody so much as glances towards it, somebody offers a courtesy bathing suit if you'd like to take a dip. You're offered beverages or sandwiches, refreshments. You are being graciously hosted without the host.
the best kind of being hosted.
Now, aside from the plan to walk around and hope to run into Zoe, what else are you doing here?
Just kind of reading the books.
Okay.
Finding if I can see anything particularly interesting in any of the books. I doubt it, but
Alright. I just saw Ginja unmute.
Yeah, Das is probably going to end up exploring for a little while, finding somewhere quiet and out of the way, and then just sitting there for a while.
Okay. Alright. Sadly, for those hoping to run into Zoe, there is no appearance by Zoe.
Damn.
Sad times.
Sad.
It was only a maybe anyway.
Now, I'll remind you, because it's been several months, I think several months. It's been a long time for us, and we are not our characters. There is still the news of the showing in House Palm that got canceled because Cassian couldn't attend.
Right, that.
Mm-hmm. So you still have information of an event that was ostensibly is going to continue because the performers are still here when he's able to attend, and you know where that will be. Nox, anything in particular happen on John's trip back to the Raza?
Not back to the Raza, no.
Okay. Once he's at the Raza, what does he do?
Get the drive. I don't know what the drive looks like, but puts it in some kind of simple box to lightly pad it and
Okay.
brings it back.
Okay. He has not tried to bring any weapons with him?
Nope.
Alright. Alright. Is he doing anything on the way back? Or is he, do we rejoin with him returning?
Yeah, we were drawing to return.
Alright. So it does take a little while to navigate outside the city, get into the Raza, get all that, come back into the city. John is he's not paperbacked on this either. So he now is privy to knowledge of a route outside the city. It had a checkpoint in a way, but it looked more like it had been prearranged for the door to open, for this door to open up, and it is kind of a Wile E. Coyote secret exit type thing, where it's just looks like a wall with some neat art on it until it's opened.
Do we go back in the same way or through a different door?
You do go back in the same way.
Okay. What?
And so it takes about an hour and a half before John returns. As I said, in that time there is no sighting of Zoe. Is Dash still awake?
Probably.
Okay.
You're probably messing around on the compad, working some things out or practicing or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
She'll have found something to do.
Okay. And upon well, you can reasonably predict that John is back before he actually walks back in because Cassian returns. and then stands and waits, looking over at the doorway. And within 30 seconds, there's John. Oh, I guess he actually should have met John at the exchange. Yeah, we're already here. I think you know what, he wants to see it before he commits it to its prison. So as long as John allows him to, he'll look into the box and you know, thumb around what looked like a thumb drive without the USB port. I realize I should have said at some point. It doesn't look like a thumb drive in that it has a USB port. It just is about the size of a thumb drive. Otherwise, it's fairly smooth black plastic. And he says, "This little thing.
Hmm.
And how do I know that this is actually the hard drive with my daughter's memories?"
Is there any way for us to tell? I'm asking out of character.
Only that it had her stasis tube number etched onto it. There was really no other identifying a marking.
You could ask him if he wants to go in the tube and try and get some of Zoe's memories if he doesn't believe us.
Diving into it firsthand.
I mean, we know that even if it fails, we'll get something.
Yeah. So you're offering that he could go in, or that you would go in?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to John that he could suggest that. Personally, he's not there, so.
Oh no, this is back at Cassie's estate.
Oh right, okay, I got a bit mixed up. I thought they were at the exchange.
Yeah, no, that was my bad. I should have done them at the exchange, but I realized that I'd already narrated John coming back, and I was just sticking with it.
That's why I got confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, Percy will say that. I mean, if you're not willing to take it on trust, even when we did fail to get the memories that we tried to get out of the devices, we still got something, just not what we were looking for. So you could try. I'm not sure Zoe would appreciate it if she found out, but you can try.
He looks around at all of you, whoever has assembled upon John's return, and puts it back in the little box that John put in. I'm putting a lot of faith in former terrorists. I don't know what activities you are into now, but I know your history.
If it's any consolation, we don't have the context, the knowledge, or really the forethought to try and cheat you out of this.
Or the resources.
Yeah.
Or the inclination, really. Why would we try and screw you over?
I'm hoping the prospect of working together in the future is enough assurance from my side that even lacking any other reason, you will not, out of some senseless act of rebellion or resentment, try to fool me.
Of course not. We have enough enemies already, even if we don't remember who all of them are.
Yeah, I'm not in the business to making any more enemies.
That is good news. And perhaps you'd like, with the information that I have for you, to eliminate one of your old enemies.
Can I take a stab at who might have done this?
If you wish to guess, be my guest.
Union?
Yes, they were working for a union.
Mr. Jack specifically?
Which one? I don't...
That's the title.
What was that from, John?
Mr. Jack is a title. I was saying that character.
Oh, yeah. I don't know specifically who handed down the orders, but I do know who carried them out and where you can find them.
Interesting.
I trust you'll clean up some loose ends there and spare me the continuing expense of monitoring and supporting them.
Okay, if I wasn't interested before, I definitely am now.
I've grown tired of their excesses, but as you can imagine, it's more difficult for me to act directly.
Hmm.
But
This person orchestrated the scrapping of our ships, the erasing of our memories, and all that other stuff.
And whatever happened to Porcelain and Android?
I don't know if they were involved in all of that. I only know that they scrapped your ship and that they broke into the stasis pods, reclaiming Zoe and bringing her back while leaving you.
That does explain. That does explain things, huh? So who is it then?
Real quick on a side note there, Nox. It was never explicitly stated, but there was certainly implication of at least a willingness to consider it. The only thing that was actually explicitly stated is that the QED would be locked away in an exchange safe box that Cassian states he can't open on his own if you set it that way. Requires the 2-key system. And the implications from that would be that you guys can exercise discretion and judgment in the future if you're ever asked to unlock it again.
Yeah, so we could just say, for example, no, we're not unlocking it unless you bring Zoe along.
Right. He's never explicitly agreed that he'd give her the choice, but you know, by implication, he might not have the option not to agree to that.
Yeah. Effectively, he wants the memories destroyed. We've argued for sealed them away where neither party can access them.
Yes. And he accepted that.
So yeah, he still hasn't actually told us. Like, the conversations you've been whirling a little bit. We're still curious to know who it is.
In good
character.
time. Oh, go ahead, Nox.
This is kind of a pitch deal. If she doesn't explicitly get the choice or the knowledge of it. Just an awareness thing. Because if it's just sealed away forever, Cassian still gets what he wants.
Cassian still gets what, sorry?
Gets what he wants.
He gets what he wants, and that it's effectively destroyed.
Yeah, I would say it's as thorough as effectively destroyed, because there's still the option that, like, someone could take one of the keys off, take the key off of him, or we could steal it, or, there's options.
The key is the actual person.
Yeah, it's a biometric key.
Yeah.
There's always the option that someone could kidnap him and force him to unlock the thing.
That's true.
Yeah, it's extremely more likely that he kidnaps 119 and brings them over.
Again, possibly us.
The rich, as hang on real quick, Nux. The rich, as Riley might have some knowledge of, also have greater access to proper cloning technology than than is widely known about throughout the sector. So I just wanted to throw that out. I think Riley would probably be the only one that does really know that. Maybe Das, with how much Das, scours around depending on how much Das scours around the internet looking at random stuff.
Probably quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the things she found to do while sitting there.
Mm-hmm. That's certainly part of that could certainly enter into a discussion if you want to raise the concerns about the deal.
I guess at some points I just want to bring up that I'd like Zoe to know that the option exists, even if it never comes to anything. It means that if Cassian decides that Zoe's never going to get her memories back, that is a decision that he's made for her. Kind of a caged bird situation.
Is John kind of voicing this while you're both there with the box?
I was going to save it for when we're transporting up to light.
That also works. We'll get to that in just a moment. I do want to make sure that we've finished up the conversation about the scavengers before John and Cassian get in the car to get on to the exchange. And so for that, Percy had just kind of asked, when do we get to know the name of these people? And Cassian says, in due time. Let's finish this transaction first. I wouldn't want you running off and causing any noise that could possibly be linked to me.
Suppose not. Should we get this done then?
Yes. Mr. Randall, let's go.
Ooh, Mr. Randall.
Right.
Alright, and so John voices his concerns and his effectively his request while in the car on the way to the exchange.
Yeah.
Okay. Cassian does take a moment to think about it. It's a kind of a trait that you're seeing in him is that he will think about his words before he says them, at least as far as you've seen. And after he's given that a moment, he nods and he says, "We'll meet back here in, say, 1 year, and at that time we will talk about this again. Perhaps I can be convinced that as my daughter continues to grow and to mature into the person she is today, perhaps I can be convinced that the risks are worth remembering her mother." Will that be satisfactory for you, Mr. Randall?
Yeah, it'll do it.
And I'll add a little bit more detail there. He basically is agreeing to tell her, just not at this point. He's mainly agreeing that he'll meet with you lot again in a year to renew negotiations, kind of. Not so much renew negotiations. Like the QED is gonna stay locked up if you both don't agree, but he is willing to discuss whether his daughter should be told a year from now.
Okay, Ginger's you're on date tracking duty.
Don't worry. The universe will end before that year comes up. No, I'm kidding.
But no, it would be a bit awkward if we found out that we're like halfway across the sector and we go, oh shit, we need to be back there in 2 days.
Yeah, he also understands that you guys are not always able to be in one place at an exact time. So he's not like setting a specific date, just kind of like in about a year when you come back here, we can meet again.
When we hit 3252 or something.
Yeah, sure.
We're in middle of January 51, so
yeah,
anytime in 52.
So just next year.
Yeah, okay, and if it happens to be middle of December of 3251, that's probably fine. If it happens to be March of 3252, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
You do realize that Dex is going to hit us with an absolute pile of stuff in like the end of November 3251. And then that'll leave us out of commission for about 6 months.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everything I do is random events. I don't do anything.
Broken clock, Dex, broken clock.
Yeah.
All right. The securing process is about what you'd expect. John is subjected to a handful of tests that are supposed to create a complete biometric profile so that nobody can just get a piece of his hair and start impersonating him. It would be extremely difficult, not impossible, but extremely difficult to break into this. Not the least of which is the amount of security that the bank has, or the exchange has.
Yeah.
And I think there's any conversation with him. What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Viral. Do you think there's any conversation with Cassian on the way back? Aside from idle chatter.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Cassian will engage a little bit of idle chatter about the war, and recognizing that John doesn't actually have memories of it. As long as John isn't objecting, he'll recall for John some of the battles that he remembers.
I guess 119 will listen along with them.
Yeah. Cassian was a bit younger than John at the time. John's older than Cassian. And he kind of has a fond recollection of Captain Randall. Viral. You both return back to his estate, and on his return, he gathers you into that room with the fancy holographic projector, He turns off whatever's on it. Sorry for whoever was watching the movie.
Get out, we have business.
And he brings up a floor plan layout and a visual of a very nice looking, not quite an estate, but not quite in a mansion, but like the kind of place that a person might have as a summer house. And Elise, that's what's in your vision. Yes, Riley, you have a raised hand. Oh, I see. In response to the question. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the target that we have is staying at this mansion.
No. The house or estate in her vision is this summer house that Cassian is showing you. The summer house is some other property in House LaRue.
Did I tell him? I guess this would go into the good nature and all that. Looking at the pictures does seem to get like a very, very clear indication of like a facial shift in Elise. And then she goes, "So, do you have anyone that you care about there?"
He looks directly at her and he says, "No, I want them all dead." I assumed that you took that drift. If not, let me make it clear. They are a thorn and an expense. They are a loose end, and I want them dead.
Like, what did they do?
They asked for money for the return of my daughter.
Scrapped our ship as well.
Yes, that's just a reason
Oh,
for
this
you.
is the same people.
Yes.
Oh, that was my mistake.
I apologize if I was unclear. The same people who scrapped your ship brought my daughter back and asked for money for returning her to me.
And they've been staying at this estate.
I've been maintaining their expense so that I could talk to you. And so that I would have them as leverage. Find out what happened with Zoe.
Did they say anything, or have they just not been cooperative at all?
Oh, they were very cooperative. But scavengers only have so many tales to tell.
And a few more follow-ups here. Is anyone else looking for them to be dead?
I don't believe so. They successfully concluded their business with the Union, and then returned here as the terms of our agreement. They might be a little skittish on your arrival. The last time one of them so much as spoke the word Raza, they found him dead the next morning.
So I guess we're going to give them a little reminder of why you don't mess with the Raza, huh?
Please do.
Does it count as a reminder if they're all dead?
It'll be a reminder for the other people, right?
But
It sends a message
find
if
out
nothing
about
else.
this because he's going to sweep this under the rug. You're sweeping this under the rug, right?
I will sweep this under the rug.
See, nobody's going to find out about this, and so that doesn't help us at all.
You get answers from them. I don't care what you do with them before they die.
I didn't necessarily mean like we were getting nothing out of this. in that sense. I just,
Okay.
this is.
She's just cautious
I
about
thought that they
anything.
were just going to be dead when we got there.
He raises an eyebrow. Oh yes, Charlotte told me you were psychic. Precognitive then.
Yeah.
You've already
and-
seen how this plays out. Fantastic.
No. Because I don't think that we killed them. At least in what I saw.
Well then maybe you had better get there before whoever it isn't whoever it is that isn't you kills them. And kill them as well.
But that, okay.
That in itself may actually tell a story.
I feel like you're boiling this down to something that is not to take away that I want from this. Because if they're getting hunted by someone else and then we kill them before they get to kill them, they're just going to come and try and kill us. And then we have to kill two groups of people.
What is the problem?
You,
We can.
you're serious about that?
No, I think we can still play this. If they're the people that scrapped us, then I'm curious to know who else is on the bad side, or who else's bad side they're on rather.
Yeah.
So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? But in this case, I think the enemy of my enemy is still my goddamn enemy.
Hmm.
And
Well, then we
I
better
don't
go
want
find
to
out who
add any more onto that list.
I'll also
Then we get
add
to-
that if this enemy of your enemy kills your enemy before you can ask them questions, then you get no answers.
I'm getting that. I'm getting
Exactly
that.
what I was
getting
about to
that.
say.
His eyes kind of light up in the way of somebody who misses this kind of adventure, and he says, "Well, then you've got a chase ahead of you."
I don't want to chase. I want things to be simple. I want a guy just sitting there, and I get to ask him a question, and if I feel angry about it, I get to shoot him in the head.
I mean, there's no reason why we can't do that.
We can do that.
I could appreciate that.
Bear
This
in
isn't
mind,
that situation.
bear in mind, they shot themselves the last time that they heard our name. So if we actually show up in the flesh, you think they're gonna put up a fight?
Yes. They're gonna look at us. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit! It's the ghost of Christmas past." Bam.
Shoot them first.
I don't want to shoot them first because I want to ask them a goddamn question.
You don't have to kill
in the
everyone
leg.
you shoot.
You forget.
What's the point? Oh,
Honestly,
Lord.
I'm inclined to agree with Mr. LaRue here. You remember what happened in that knife fight in Henry Station? We brought two of them back.
No. We're not talking about that right now.
A knife fight in Henry Station. Well, that sounds fascinating. He is
No, it
enjoying
was
this
not. It
now.
was terrifying.
I think
I
it's
almost got
about-
shot and then I almost got stabbed. It was not fun.
Harrowing experiences put hair on
I'm
your
okay.
chest.
I don't want
I'm
hair on
okay.
my chest.
It's in the word,
I'm okay.
harrowing.
And we came out of it 50,000 credits, Richard, remember?
We got money from that?
You're not forgetting, right? Demon's Legs? Remember we got the funds for that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, a lot of that day is a bit of a blur because of the bombing that didn't happen. Kind of.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mr. Bombjack.
Oh, this is not. Why are you enjoying this?
Oh, I miss these days.
These were traumatic memories for the new me.
Oh, they were
I was get-
traumatic for young me also. You'll
I was
survive.
going to say,
I don't want
I
to
was
be
ge-
as senile as you.
Mr. LaRue, I thought I saw a glint in your eye there. Are you missing the day of bro politics?
I am.
You could just, I don't know, stop shitting money and doing all this politics stuff and go off. You know, you have the money to afford that.
There's a time in every man and woman's life when the physical adventures must give way to financial. I've struck my last blow and tooken my last blow.
John's doing just fine. Are you older than John? How old are you?
John is my senior. Mr. Randall is my senior.
And if he's doing it, you're, I don't know, young-ish.
Thank you, young lady.
Okay, you've distracted me enough. I want to go back to this thing.
In fairness, John's more of a shooter and a gunnery officer. He's a lot less physical than, wrestling with Bro to put your point across.
So your plan is for us to walk in there, shoot everyone. Maybe some of them will be like crawling on the floor, like, I'm still alive, and then we get to answer questions to those people.
No, that's your plan. My plan is to tell you where they are and leave you to
yours
it.
Not a plan. Yours is just talking.
Mine is selling information, and I've sold it. It's yours now.
But this is your place. Like, you can't give us like a blueprint or like a back door or like a fucking key.
Oh, he has given you well, he's shown you, the picture and the blueprint. And he says, I will have that sent to you.
Thank you. Not that hard.
You had only to ask.
Asking.
He is enjoying this. You're right. The more Elise gets like in his face, the more he enjoys it.
Just want things to be easy. I don't even want to do this.
Again, Dex, you're doing that thing where you make us like the NPCs that we're not supposed to like.
I'm so sorry. I will have him make racial and sexist slurs right now.
Not like that, but you know what I mean.
I do.
What, twice in the space of a month? First Trail and now Cassian.
I still want to shoot Trail.
We talked about this.
We are at 3 o'clock. I did not want to interrupt this because it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But we are at 3 o'clock.
Can I make one last request?
Yes, you can.
So you're the politician. You control everything in this whole planet, don't you? Or at least the city.
Well, I would like to think that I control some parts of the planet, yes.
So you're gonna let us take guns through customs, right?
I believe John already has the answer to that. Or he says Mr. Randall. That was me being bad. I believe Mr. Randall already has the solution to that.
Okay.
Oh, here was me thinking we were just going to fist fight them.
That would be more exciting, wouldn't it?
I am not getting anywhere close to anyone that's gonna have a knife. Not again. No.
Okay, I think both of you missed the sarcasm, but you had very different responses. I'm quite impressed.
So yes, you have a back door into the city in which, through which you can bring weapons, and you have blueprints to the house.
And we have a head count of how many people there are. Right?
Excellent. Who wants to go shut up the city?
Yeah. Let's see. He says that there are 5 of them.
Huh.
Well, you haven't been worked up over nothing. It's just 5 people.
There's only 5
You don't lead
people.
with this information, man.
They are union, so, they are fighters. But they are still only 5 people.
They can't fight if they're already on the floor. Okay, let's go. I'm done here.
That's the spirit.
I mean this. No, I don't mean this with any respect. I think I hate you. You're like the least nice old person that we've met so far.
Thank you.
I imagine Elise storms out and then Percy's just like, I don't know, I'm kind of warming up to him.
I should have stayed with Raju on.
Not too late.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let the session end on that.
What was Lucius' plans to head back to Mona and just live a quiet life? Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't
I'm
either.
gonna drag Koana with me.
Oh no. Now that Koana's gotten a taste of adventure, good luck with that.
She hasn't even got to fire
Why
any ship's
can't I
guns
just
yet.
kill all my enemies and then go back and then like retire for a peaceful life?
Because you still have too many enemies out there.
I've got a chance to live whatever new life that I want, and I have to keep fucking dealing with all these fucking skeletons in the closet, and I keep pulling out skeletons. Jesus Christ, why is the closet so big?